Hello everyone, I'm Alvin. Welcome to Weekly VOC News, where we bring you latest and most significant news around Chinland. Here are tonight's news headlines. In southern Chinland, Palawat Township, ULAAA soldiers attempted to rape and murder a Kumi Chin woman and her child. Ukain Tuka, the spokesperson for the Arakan Army ULAAA, said that the incident is true and that they will take the action to ensure justice is served. In Complet Township, southern Chinland, guardians and parents have once again called for the immediate release of underage children detained by the CDF Complet Victoria Battalion 1. Along with the news that CDF Hakka has called on youths to join the revolutionary forces for the operation to reclaim Hakka, the capital of Chinland, we will present the important news that happened across Chinland during this week. ULAAA soldiers attempted to rape and kill a Kumi Chin woman in southern Chinland's Palawat Township, spokesperson confirms. In Palawat Township, southern Chinland, two soldiers from the Arakan Army ULAAA attempted to rape and murder a 23-year-old Kumi Chin woman and her young child. According to Ukain Tuka, spokesperson for the Arakan Army, he stated that the incident did not happen and that the organization will take action to ensure justice. On April 5th, in Sengsin Village, Palawat Township, a 23-year-old mother was sexually assaulted by a ULAAA officer and a soldier who then attempted to drown her to cover up the crime. When contacted by Nirinjara News Agency, a Rakhine-based news outlet, the ULAAA spokesperson admitted that their soldiers were responsible for the assault. Ukain Tuka added that the two perpetrators have been arrested and detained, and that they will be punished harshly and fairly according to justice. The young mother, who had gone to a nearby farm about a 10-minute walk from her village, was attacked and sexually assaulted by the ULAAA soldiers while they were attempting to drown her. Her mother-in-law happened to find them and shouted for help, which saved the victim's life. Following the incident, the Interim Kumi Affairs Coordination Council, Palawat Council, which is IKACC PC, issued a statement condemning the act as an oppressing and abuse of an ethnic group and a violation of human rights. The council also urged the ULAAA to take full responsibility for the victim's safety and the family's security. The Arakan Army ULAAA has controlled Palawat Township since January 2024 and has been administering in the area since then. During the year under ULAAA's control, there have been reports of triple homicides and sexual assaults in Palawat and Sami, but there has been no known accountability or resolutions for these cases up to now. Parents urge CDF Complet to immediately release detained underage children in southern Chinland. In Complet Township, southern Chinland, parents and guardians have once again called on the CDF Complet Victoria Battalion 1 to immediately release underage children who were recently detained. According to a letter sent to VOC by the children's parents and guardians, members of the CDF Complet Victoria Battalion 1, part of the Chin resistant forces, arrested a total of 17 individuals, 16 underage school-age children and one adult between March 28 and 30 from Nigya, Longbao, Manlaung, Saesong, and Jiaoto villages under the Minjia village tract. Among the detained children are individuals with disabilities, children from female-heeled households, and children whose parents are disabled or separated due to political instability and economic hardships. Most of them are school-age children. Additionally, among those detained, a boy named Mang Tan Hong, also known as Mang Han Tun, was reportedly shot in the hip while accidentally encountering a military convoy during a journey. The bullet remains lodged in his body as of now. Some of the other children are said to be suffering from chronic illnesses as well. The parents and guardians strongly urged CDF Kampalat to release the detained children to their families before the reopening of schools in May, emphasizing that their unlawful detention could lead to escalating ethnic tensions known locally as Pakika, referring to internal ethnic strife. Regarding the incident, CDF Kampalet released a statement on April 16 through Chin World News, denying that they detained the children for forced conscription purposes. However, the parents and guardians criticized CDF Kampalet for irresponsibly denying their actions and requested media outlets to conduct on-ground investigations to uncover the true situation. CDF Hakka calls on youth to join the operation to liberate Chinland's capital, Hakka. The Chinland Defense Force Hakka, CDF Hakka, has called on all youth to join the resistant forces for the campaign to capture Hakka, the capital of Chinland, stating that the liberation of the land and people is everyone's responsibility. On April 23rd, CDF Hakka issued an announcement urging all young people to participate in the military operation to liberate Hakka. They also called on parents to encourage and motivate their sons and daughters to join the fight. According to CDF Hakka, youth can join either as full-time active force members or, if unable to commit full-time, they can undergo training to become part of the reserve force, where they would be ready to support operations when needed. Since the military coup in Myanmar, Chinland has been one of the earliest regions to rise up with arms against the regime. Over 4 years into the Spring Revolution, Chin resistant forces have reportedly gained control over more than 80% of Chinland territory. Currently, the military council is set to maintain bases only in Hakka, Tlatlang, and Didim, where the rest of Chinland's towns are largely free from military occupations. Over 50 junta forces found dead in CDF KKG major operation between Kalay and Gangko, chairman says. The chairman of CDF KKG, Chinland Defense Force Kalay KKG, stated that more than 50 bodies of junta soldiers were found during the major operation carried out between Kalay and Gangko. The operation, which began in February 2025, successfully seized several key military bases and villages under junta and Pusoti militia control, including Gabani Base, Manto, Altaya East and West, and Janda Village. Speaking during an online press briefing last week, CDF KKG Chairman Salai Zaboytong said that during the 2-month-long CDF KKG major operation, more than 50 dead bodies of junta soldiers and Pusoti members were found. He also reported that a large number of weapons and ammunition were seized, along with the capture of over 10 military prisoners. However, the resistant forces, including CDF KKG and its allied groups, also suffered casualties, with over 20 fighters killed and around 70 wounded, according to Salai Zaboytong. He emphasized that the Kalay-Gangkol region is strategically critical for both military and politically for southern Chinland, making such operations is necessary. He added that further attacks will continue against the remaining junta bases and Pusoti-controlled villages in the area. CDF KKG major operation involved a coalition of allied forces, including the Chin National Army (CNA), CDF Hakka, CDF Tantang, CDF CDM Siyin, ABSDF, Your Liberation Army, CDF Sentang, Naga Brotherhood, Indra Pokokbu People's Defense Forces, MCR, PDF Pokok, and RKDF. All goods transport into Damu blocked as resistant forces prepare to launch town capture operation. Resistant forces have blocked all goods transport into Damu town, Sakai region, starting from April 20th, as preparations are underway for a major operation to seize the town, they announced. Damu, a key border trade town between India and Myanmar, remains under junta control. A responsible officer from Tamu District Battalion 2 explained that the blockade aims to disrupt junta supplies and to prepare for the town's capture. The announcement also warned that any violations of the blockade, including the transport or trade of goods, would face decisive action. Following the resistant forces announcement, local sources reported that commodity prices in Tamu have surged and shortages of goods have begun to occur. Although no direct clashes have yet been reported in Tamu town, some civilians have already fled in anticipation of the fighting, while others are closely monitoring the situation and preparing to evacuate if necessary. CNA concludes instructor training course at Central Training School. The Chin National Army CNA successfully completed its military instructor training course at the Central Training School on April 19th, after more than a month of instruction. The course began on March 6 with a total of 17 trainees, 12 male soldiers and 5 female soldiers. According to the Chinland Information Center, the graduation ceremony for the course was successfully held on April 19th. The ceremony was attended by Lieutenant Colonel Sunny Aung, Commandant Lieutenant Colonel San Nol, UCCF Assistant Pastor David Hong Yuan, and several CNA officers. Lieutenant Colonel Sunny Aung delivered a speech at the event. During the course, Private B. Bar won the Best Cadet Award and the first prize for small arms proficiency, while Private Alfred earned the second prize for small arms proficiency. Additionally, the awards for Best Perseverance in Overcoming Hardships were won individually by Private Pan Jo and Private Zhong Mung Tang. That concludes our news for this week. Thank you so much for supporting VOC. We'll see you again next week.